What's going on, guys? I'm out here trying to get a few things done, but I took a break and I was watching the press event that Dodge just did. And you guys know I'm a big Dodge, Jeep, Ram guy anyway. So I thought this was some very, very interesting information that they just dropped on everybody. So if you haven't seen this, it's really interesting. Let's go through this. So next week, I'm filming this on August the 8th, obviously. So next week, around the 13th or so, orders will begin to be placed on the 2026 Dodge lineup. And it's really interesting what they're doing for 2026. And a lot of it is stuff that we have begged them to do. We've been begging them to do this, and they have listened, okay? So check this out. So essentially, let's start with the Dodge Charger. So they're going to finally release these 6-pack versions of the Dodge Charger. We've been waiting for these for a long time to see what they're going to do with this. So they're finally going to be ordered or orderable next week. So you're starting out with the standard output Hurricane engine, the 3-liter twin turbo engine. It's been in the Ram and the Wagoneer for a while now. It's finally here for the Dodge Charger. So the standard output version of it, 420 horsepower, base price on it coming in at $49,995. Now, that doesn't include the destination charges, which I'm sure will be absolutely ridiculous. Looks like my camera's kind of dirty here. Let's try to clean that up. But anyway, the destination charges are not included in that, and I'm sure there's going to be like some dealer fees and all that crap they end up adding on to it. So bottom line is you're looking at a little more than $50,000 to get into the new Charger. However, you can get the Scat Pack version of it, which of course is the high output Hurricane. Now your horsepower's up in the 500s, and you can get that car for just $5,000 more money. They're going to start it out at $55,000. Again, that doesn't include destination fees and all that good stuff. But the point is, you can get into the new 2026 Dodge Charger with a gasoline engine and outperform the Mustang GT for the same price as the Mustang GT. And that was a huge announcement. That's what we've been saying that they've got to do. When they get to the point that they're going to finally release a gasoline version of this new car, they have to compete with Ford. I mean, that's their main competitor here. That's really, as far as domestic brands go, that's their only competitor right now. Like in that segment. So, I think it's huge that they listened and they're going to start these cars off in that ballpark. Now, I think there is an SRT version, which is even bigger and badder, and then you're talking more money, like around 60, 65,000. But I think that high output version of the car that they're going to do for 55, that's going to be where it's at right there. Now, even bigger news, in my opinion, is what they're doing on the Dodge Durango. So the Dodge Durango is going to have standard Hemi power. The base model of the Durango has a 5.7 Hemi under the hood now, and the starting price is like $43,000, which is pretty awesome. Here's where it gets even more awesome. For 2026, you can get the Dodge Durango SRT, which of course is the one that has the big 392 Hemi under the hood, for $49,995. That is a huge announcement. So you can get a 392 Hemi powered SUV with all-wheel drive and lots of capability and towing capacity and all that good stuff. Fun to drive, great family vehicle, just an all-around awesome vehicle. 392 Hemi for under $50,000. That is a very, very big announcement right there. There's also the Hellcat version, which is going to be, I think, around $79,000. I may have gotten that wrong, but it's pretty affordable considering what you get there, around $79,000. But anyway, I think that 392 Durango coming in under the $50,000 mark, starting, that's not with a bunch of options and dealer markups and all that. Hopefully that won't happen, but it will. But anyway, the base price on the vehicle coming in under 50, I think that's huge. And that is going to be very enticing for a lot of people myself included. So, so anyway, some really big news there for 2026. I think Dodge is, you know, with Tim Kuniskis, you know, and these other guys that are at the helm now, they're trying to turn the company around. They're listening to consumers. They're listening to what we're saying. I think it's pretty awesome news, you know, that first of all, you're getting more Hemis. Second of all, the prices are coming down, which is what needs to happen. And, you know, they didn't make an official announcement about the Hemis for the Dodge Charger, but we all know that's coming. I'm thinking that probably this winter, when the other big car events happen, you know, I think that we'll probably see an official announcement coming from Dodge regarding the V8s for the cars here in a few more months. But at least for now, we know we can get a gasoline Charger and we can compete with the Ford Mustang, and we don't have to pay 80 grand to get it, right? So that's a huge deal. So next week, keep your eye out on the order tool online. It'll probably be on there so you can start building them and configuring them the way that you want. And it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of leasing deals they do on those cars. You know, right now the EV version, of course, it hasn't been a good seller, and they're just trying to move them. But you can buy the EV version of the Charger for $499 a month, which is a pretty good deal. If you want that car, it's a pretty good deal. So if they end up doing something like that on the gasoline version, you know, let's say they do the Scat Pack, you know, which has an MSRP around $55K. Let's say they do some kind of crazy lease deal on that, and you can lease one of those for $499 a month. I bet you people are going to jump all over that. They're going to sell a bunch of them. So we'll just have to wait till next week and see how that looks on the online configuration tool. But anyway, short video today. I just wanted to drop this and let you know, in case you hadn't seen the news, that Dodge is starting to get more serious now about competing, about selling vehicles again, getting stuff out there that people want. You know, I know that the six-pack cars, you know, they're not as desirable as Hemi cars, but they're a whole lot more desirable than the EV car, right? So at least we're moving the right direction here. And I think we're probably going to end up seeing some really big news regarding the Ram 1500 pickups. I bet that's coming real soon too. You know, we already know you can get the 5.7 Hemi again for 26, but I have a strong feeling that they're going to do some even more interesting news on that truck in the coming months as well. So it was a disaster there for a few years, but thankfully Dodge and Ram and eventually Jeep, they're going to turn this thing around. And I think 2026 and 2027 are going to be some really awesome years for those brands. So stay tuned. We'll have some more later. Things are going to get interesting. All right, that's all I got for now. Got to get out here and get some mowing done, I think, and some more work here. But good to see that news from Dodge. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, everybody at Dodge. Can't wait to see more. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.